Libraries have always been a special place from the time that I was very young. To have such a great facility for people helps them carry on their desire to be lifelong learners.
I just always remember going to the library ever since I was really small. When I was younger, I used to have such a big stack of books that went over my head, and my dad had to carry some.
We have 15 library branches in San Luis Obispo County, and Atascadero is the third largest branch in terms of our circulation numbers and how many of the materials go out. The library has become a real big social network for people of all economic backgrounds. Everything that we offer, our services are free, all the materials are free that you can check out, and we have a variety of materials from books to magazines to books on CD. They can download on their own Kindles and other iPads.
The sum annual charge is zero. We don't charge to use the public library.
The only thing that we charge for, if you need to borrow something from another outside library, something that's not in our library either, it costs $1 to request something.
Any librarian will tell you that throughout the community there's always going to be folks who simply aren't going to have the means, or perhaps simply don't want to have computers in their homes, but they're going to find more and more that they have to use a computer. And so the library provides them with the opportunity to have access to that kind of technology.
Unfortunately, because we're so crowded here at the library, we only have 4 internet stations, so people are limited to using those internet stations 30 minutes per person per day. So there's many times a waiting list for it, and so that usually isn't enough time for them to actually do any in-depth job searching.
Oh, it's so busy here. I mean, you have a lot of people come to use the internet. If they don't have that available to them, it's a service that's provided by the library. I see people doing everything from checking their email to writing their thesis.
But we get students from Cal Poly and Cuesta who come here. Sometimes we even get graduate level students who come in here.
Libraries have technological resources available, books. You can study by topic, you can study to get ready for interview processes, and all those resources are available right there at your public library. Very important time for those to be available in our community.
It's important to expand the Atascadero Library so that we can better meet the needs of the citizens because of their vast desire to have entertainment and information that libraries make available.
We never know what it is that we're going to need when we're at home. Topics in our house change on a weekly basis, and you know, we come to the library because we need to check out books on microorganisms or the planets or Indiana Jones or Pokemon. And Davin just last week got a science award already, and we definitely contribute that to coming to the library on a weekly basis.
One of the highlights of our month is going to the library and picking out new books. And I read books to my daughter every day. And so I think that experience of connecting and of teaching and of seeing her eyes light up as she learns new things and learns to say words is neat for me as a dad, and I think it's neat for her as she grows. And so I think this library is important to me as a dad and a person who has a family, and I think it's important to all of our families in our community because it will provide a new children's library, new efforts for adults who want to better themselves, and so I think the library is critical for us.
It wasn't until I started holding my office hours in the libraries in the North County that I realized how many people use them. I hold office hours in Santa Margarita, in Creston, and in Atascadero, all in the libraries, and they really are a community asset where people come to not only check out books or use the computers or check out videos, but also to meet and talk.
Civic organizations come and use the library even during non-library hours, Sunday and Monday. So it's a social place, social gathering places where people can talk about, civic issues, community issues as well. It's also a place for story time. People get inspired about reading. Joan doing her story times on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
The written word, I mean, there's something just very unique about holding a book and reading it and making pictures in your mind, because I always tell kids they can travel anywhere in the world they want to go to. It doesn't cost them a penny by checking out a book. and they can go on all kinds of adventures.
So I often attended children's programs, and I loved those so much. I still go to a lot of the workshops at the library.
Our community room, the Martin Poland Community Room, holds 49 is the max. And we've had programs where I don't do sign-ups, and we've had 100 to 150.
Today we are celebrating Girl Scout Thinking Day, and it is for us to celebrate our sisterhood with all of our international countries and to learn more about each other's cultures.
In South Africa, it's actually really similar to California, surprisingly, in the weather, but in summer it's really hot like here, but it rains in the afternoon. And then here we have a thumb piano, and it's an instrument in South Africa, and you play it with your thumbs.
We have used this space before, and as you can see, we're a bit crowded today. We've had a great turnout. The noise level is a little high and makes it difficult for the girls to give their information out to the children, but we're making do.
You know, when I take Captain here in for his reading to Rover time with the kids, we're sort of jammed into a small little space, and they're kind of crowded around, and we just need more room.
When they built this building, they were just really excited to have the funds to just get a newer building built, and one that was larger than where they were located. But it was actually built too small. People didn't look ahead to the future for the expansion of the city itself, because when it was built then, we probably had about 11,000 people, and we now have about 28,000 in Atascadero.
And some days we've had over 600 people come into the library. You'll be hard-pressed to find any place in Atascadero that will have over 600 people come in on a daily basis.
And you know, when you go in there and everything's overwhelmed, and we don't have enough space for little kids to read, we don't have enough space for people to use the computers. Even the community room is too small. The community room, this was going to be so nice. So it's just too small for our town. It probably always has been, but it certainly is now.
This bigger library will be able to have so many more books and different sections for different age groups. I think will be really good.
What I think about this location is it's perfect. I know that covering the town and covering city politics and covering city general plan goals always called for the library being downtown, for the library being in a central location, being accessible to the schools and accessible to public transportation. And this all came together with this site.
I think the library being close to the junior high will allow more kids to go there and read and maybe spend less time on electronics.
One of the main advantages is that the new transportation hub that the city has planned for right across the street here will allow people to get to the library and from the library much more conveniently than we have now in our present location.
This new location has afforded the county and the Friends to not only expand the existing library, double its size, but relocate it to the downtown, which was one of the original objectives of the Friends when they looked into expanding the library. But also with this facility, we'll be able to keep county offices in Atascadero that were originally scheduled to move elsewhere. So it's a benefit to the county because it's more economical to keep them here. And partnering with the Friends has allowed us to reach that goal much sooner.
Thanks for coming. A lot of people showed up, and they're still coming. Enjoy, and we have homemade chocolate cake for you too. I'd like to think I would approve, but.
The county does maintain the libraries and operate them, but for expansion purposes, they rely on the communities where the libraries are located to actually contribute half of the cost of developing the new facility.
My wife and I are proud supporters of the library. We believe it's a cause worth donating whatever you have, time, talent, or treasure, and we all have one of those things. And so I think people need to just really work together to get our new library built.
The county administration is also convinced that this is a a doable project, and we're moving forward as fast as we can to expedite the construction, and we have great confidence that the Friends will achieve their goals.
I can't think of any better investment in Atascadero than investing in our own community library.
Every one of us can do something. $10, $25, $100, that big gift, or getting out there and helping the Friends of the Library with fundraisers. There's so much we can do to come together, and we are so close to having our new library move from a dream to reality.